Star Wars The Force Awakens is such a crowd pleaser, Hillary Clinton even dropped in a reference at the end of the debate last night.
Thank you, good night, and may the Force be with you.
Yes, this weekend's Star Wars release is so big it probably hurt viewership of that debate. We just received new box office data from Disney confirming that the movie is a record breaker. Up until now, the title of the biggest opening weekend ever belonged to Jurassic World. It made $208 million in the U.S. when it opened in June. But Star Wars is going to blast past that, making $238 million this weekend. So how did the franchise get to be so big? Let's ask the chief film critic of the New York Times, A.O. Scott, who's joined me here in New York. Does that number surprise you? We were thinking it was going to be about $220 million, which also would have been a record.
Yes.
But it's even blasted past that.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, this is the movie that, you know, that everyone has been waiting for. Some of us maybe for 40 years.
Yeah, you said you grew up with Star Wars. You were 11 when the original came out.
Exactly of the age of sort of the first generation of Star Wars fans. I was 11, which is kind of the prime target for that first movie, and it really was like nothing else we'd ever seen, and all of my friends and I went back and saw it, you know, 15, 20 times over the course of that summer. That doesn't happen anymore. That's not how people go to the movies anymore, because there's more out there, and they don't stay around as long. But it did capture the imagination of that generation. And then, because of the rise of home viewing, of VCR and then the DVD, it kind of kept going through subsequent generations. So you had a phenomenon when this one arrived, even in spite of the kind of the disappointment of the middle trilogy.
Right.
That, in a way, just piqued the appetite more. Well, maybe this is going to bring it back. Maybe this is going to get it right.
And you've seen it. You loved it. You say it lives up to the hype.
I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I had a very good time, and it had a lot of what the first three movies had, which was kind of a lighthearted spirit, a sense of adventure and of big stakes. You know, a battle between good and evil for control of the universe, but also a lot of fun and some of the old characters who you're happy to see again. In particular, Harrison Ford as Han Solo. I don't think that's a spoiler, is it? I'm worried if I say the wrong thing, I'm going to be, you know, chased down.
Yes, you will be.
Street,
because even though we broke a record this weekend, Disney broke a record this weekend, it's still, most people still haven't seen it. It's still going to make a lot more money over the next few weeks.
It's going to keep going, and people are going to go back, and you know, people are going to bring the whole family on Christmas. So.
And maybe other movies benefit too, right? The fact that there's a blockbuster in theaters means if you go to the theater and it's sold out, you'll end up seeing something else, and other movies will benefit.
Well, there's a lot of advanced sales, especially on the first weekend of this, so people weeks ago kind of locked in their chance to see this on opening weekend. But this has also been a good year for movies and for movie box office.
It has, even though there's all this pressure on the industry, even though digital is taking over, even though Netflix is in the game now. Still, blockbuster movies are doing well.
Well, when they're good, you know, and I think this year we had some. It's interesting to think about. There were 4 movies this year that were kind of reboots or new sequels of franchises that are at least 30 or 35 years old. There was Mad Max Fury Road, there was Jurassic World, there was Creed, the Rocky movie, and now there's The Force Awakens. And I think that what these movies have in common is they bring in, you know, old-timers like me who want to see what the latest is, and whole new generations of fans. When they manage to really refresh and reboot and modernize these
That's what
stories.
Disney has done so effectively with Star Wars.
Well, exactly.
They spent $4 billion for Lucasfilm, and they could make $2 billion just on this one movie all around the world.
Yeah, and then of course this is not. I mean, it sets up plenty of sequels to come. This is not. This is never the end. It will never be. Star Wars
this is
will
never the end.
It's never the end.
So if people have seen Star Wars, what's the one other movie they should see over the Christmas holiday?
Boy, there's some.
I'm looking forward to The Big Short. I love Concussion. Is there anything else you'd recommend?
I love The Big Short. I really liked Joy, the David O. Russell movie with
Jennifer Lawrence.
With Jennifer Lawrence, principally because of her. I think it's a terrific performance. She's just, I think, one of the great movie stars of our time, and she's playing this kind of rags to riches struggle against adversity.
And how about Sisters with Amy and Tina?
They're fun to watch. The
They were
movie
great
is
on
not
SNL
so
last
good,
night.
but
Oh.
it's you forgive its flaws just because seeing them the two of them together, they could read anything on the teleprompter, they could read the phone book, and it would be funny.
Sounds like
they
a
just
fun
have chemistry.
time to be a film critic.
I don't mind. You don't hear me complaining.
Great
Although
to see you, Tony.
first week of January, I think I'll probably be doing something else other than going to the movies.
Oh,
Let
just
everyone
take a
else
quick
catch
break?
up. Yeah.
Fair enough. Good
Great
to see you.